throughout a large part of the film, there's someone in the neighborhood singing, and obviously we never meet this person. We kind of, it wakes everyone up, and there's some, search, and the title, A Little Prayer. And I wonder if you could talk about, what, if there's a connection, what the connection is, and or what A Little Prayer means to you.
There is an unseen singer in the neighborhood that, as you said, people hear, and different people react in the family. And that came because when I used to go to be in New York, I had a friend that I would stay with who lived in Greenwich Village, and every morning at 5 a.m., some woman would be walking down the street singing at the top of her lungs, and she didn't sing particularly well. And I would run to the window to try to find her and never could find her. And I thought it was funny and interesting. And then when I put it in the script, to me, she's disturbing, like she wakes a lot of the family up. But for Jane's character and David's character, they appreciate it. They get something from her. And again, I'll lean into the pretentious director-writer mode, but to me, she's kind of grace. She's just beyond your consciousness that for them feels like a balm in some way, and you can never quite grab a hold of it. And at the end of the film, when it's sort of the three-quarters way, everything looks kind of dark. And there's these shots of the neighborhood, and there's orchestral music that you hear on the soundtrack, and then it cuts out. And it's when you normally would hear this woman, and you don't hear it, because my intention is that the two main characters have lost that little bit of a connection there until they come back together at the very, very end of the film. So that was my idea.
That's lovely, particularly because it's Southern. It felt very Tennessee Williams. I could definitely see or hear someone doing that in a Tennessee Williams play. But the title, A Little Prayer?
Well, I went through a lot of different titles. People are like, well, what is the little prayer? I think it's something I say a lot. Like if something's like, I'm really worried about it, I say, well, say a little prayer. To me, it's connected to close to the point I was talking about just a second ago. And you see the mother character played by Celia Weston, and her husband is out very late, and she waits for him, and then she goes outside, and she looks on the street, and then she looks up and she sees the stars, which we don't see. And you can see in her reaction and in the soundtrack too that sort of calms her down in some way. The next scene is her in bed, and she says amen. And it's just, there's a spiritual component that's very slight in the film. So there's that aspect. And then I want the whole film to kind of have what prayer should do for you somehow, to make you feel like there's a reason to go on. You have a little faith. Life may be hard. Life may be really emotionally difficult. To me, when David's character brings Tammy, or Jane's character, to the art museum and shows her art, that gives her something, and that's what art gives me. It gives me some reason to continue when things are hard or difficult.